Have you ever thought of taking 3 weeks out of your life to explore a part of your own country you've never seen before? Well, I certainly have, and that's exactly what I did. Join me for the adventure of a lifetime as I make my way around the stunning state of Queensland, Australia by rail. Well, new day, new adventure. We're in Cairns, and yeah, I love Cairns so far. It's a very warm place. I'm in shorts and t-shirt, and it's July, which is a new thing for me. Usually in Melbourne, if you're in shorts and t-shirts out in the open, you're mad. In July, that is. But yeah, today, what happened? Let me sit down. I tried to go to Port Douglas and it didn't work. My original plan was going to be go to the city, get a hire car and go to Port Douglas, explore the surroundings, etc. Turns out all the hire car companies are booked out. All of them. And there are a lot of hire car companies in Cairns, and they all have hundreds of cars. But yeah. I looked at the bus, getting the bus. It comes like 4 times a day or something. There's a shuttle bus. Bit expensive, but I was like, whatever. But the times didn't really suit me because it meant that when I'd get into Port Douglas, I wouldn't be able to get on the steam train, which I wanted to. And so I was like, well, what's the point of going to Port Douglas then? At least on this trip, like, I'll go back another time. But yeah, so instead, I looked up the Kuranda Railway and sort of thought, what about the Kuranda Railway? Will I do that today and go to Port Douglas tomorrow or something? But too late for the Kuranda Railway as well, so I'll just do that tomorrow as planned. But then, what else? Yeah, so I came back to, didn't really go anywhere. I just came back to the outer parts of Cairns, and now I am going to explore a bit of Cairns Railway, and if I'm lucky I'll get a train, but I probably won't be lucky, so we'll see. Wow. Right. There's a trestle bridge, well, not a trestle bridge, but a bridge, concrete bridge, railway crossing there, or level crossing, whatever you want to call it. Let's tighten up this. Yeah, as you can see, the tracks are 2-foot gauge. That's rather small. Even Puffing Billy back in Melbourne is wider than 2 foot, I think. I think they're 2 foot 6, and this is just 2 foot. But yeah. Well, here's a little bridge. Seems like the Cairns Railways like to build small bridges instead of like, what do you call them? What do you call them? Yeah, bridges instead of culverts. That's what I was trying to think of. I don't know, it's just something different. Pardon, I guess the bridges might be better off in a flooding scenario. I don't know. If there is a good reason that they've built bridges and not culverts, let me know. I'd be curious. I thought that culverts were generally cheaper and easier to maintain. Anyway, it's quite a scenic line. I'd love to catch a train along here, but that's not going to happen, so I will. I've seen so many locals walk on the tracks, it's ridiculous. That sort of thing would just wouldn't happen in Melbourne, Victoria, whatever. Here's something interesting. You look at that. That's pretty fresh. Not much has got in the way of that. So I'd say that a train came through here not too long ago. I love the scenery, all the backdrop for these cane trains in Cairns. Oh, it's quite lovely. Very different to Victoria. You really wouldn't get something like this in Victoria. So, there you go. After walking on the sugarcane line for a bit over a kilometre, I decided to catch a local commuter bus, which took me on a rather indirect scenic route to a disused railway station in the Cairns suburb of Redlynch. Well, Redlynch station, hey? It's an open station, as you can see. I don't know, the bus stops here, and I was due to change buses because I thought, oh yeah, I'll go check out Freshwater station, which is down that way a bit. But then it was like, hey, I'm here, why not check it out? After the train had passed, I strolled down to Freshwater station, where I took more photos before seeing the last train for the day pull into the station. Right, well, the sun's setting in the background, so it's providing a nice light here at Freshwater Station. But just the thing I want to note, as you can see here, platform sort of changes colour. That's because this whole area down here, all the way to down there, you see? Yeah, that was completed. That's the platform extension, and it was only completed, I think, September 2018. So this is July. So it's fairly recent, and the whole station got refurbishment and a bit of an upgrade, I guess. Thankfully they kept the old station and didn't go, time to get it up with the times and build a brand new station. Look, I wouldn't put it past Queensland Rail to do something like that, to be honest. So they've seemed to have done it with a lot of their older stations, but thankfully they recognise the heritage aspect of the Kuranda Railway. Welcome to Cairns Central. Cairns Station, I should say. We're travelling in the Kuranda Railway today. And we're just going up to take a few photos of the locomotives before boarding the train. Alright, look at this. The driver has been very kind and let me come in and even sit in the driver's seat. Look at this. How awesome. So this is a safe working thing. There's the throttle, etc. There. Brakes. Man, look at this. Shows you what happens when you ask. Well, I didn't even ask. They just said, come in. This is great. Man, I must say, big props to everyone at Queensland Rail who has been so kind to me. Yeah, it's just been amazing. Well, how awesome was that? Man, big props to the drivers. Anyway, well, the crew, I should say. There's only one driver, but big props to the crew. Thank you very much for that experience. I don't know if I'd get the same sort of treatment back in Victoria. It'd be hard pressed. Anyway, car 9 I'm in, so go find that. Alright, car 9, looking for seat 53. Well, it's through to Queensland and there at the Kuranda Railway. Listen to the sound of those AMD engines. Oh, Barron Falls Station. I'm going up to view the locos.
This way. Yeah.
There you go, Barron Falls, the station sign. Lol, everyone's like, oh, the view. I'm like, oh, the locos. Yeah, okay, so now everyone has seen the view and now everyone wants to come see the locos. Well, the driver has been very kind to me. Actually, I think it's the fireman who I've been chatting to. But anyway, he has said to me when we get to Kuranda, head straight up to the front of the train and have a look at the old signal cabin. And he said, you know, well, it's all interlocked and we'll be running the locos around to the other end and all that. So yeah, righto, train horn has sounded. Didn't capture it on video, too late. But time to get back on. Alright, here we go, on to Kuranda. Alright, well, here we are at Kuranda. Now, to find the signal cabin, because, yeah, not too sure where it is, but we'll find it. Here we go, here's the signal cabin. The drone. G'day. Do you mind if I have a look in here? Yeah, you're right, mate. Cheers. Alright, well, that was the signal cabin. Thank you very much to the signalman for letting me in and having a bit of a chat about signalling. So yeah. And locos is shut down for the day. Well, for a few hours until they return. Well, hello. Train number 2 has arrived.
After thoroughly photographing the station, I wandered into town to get some lunch. I then returned to the station for my 3:30 p.m. return train. There was an earlier 2 p.m. service, but I chose not to catch it as I wanted slightly more time in Kuranda.
Alright, we're back at Kuranda and we're boarding. I'm in carriage 14, although I think my seat is down this way. This is a BLH 750. Yeah, and that's compared to just a standard BL car that I was in before, such as this one. I'm not too familiar with Queensland carriage history. I don't know whether these ones, the BLH, I assume that I'm calling them correctly, the BLH carriages, were they built for quote unquote holiday traffic like the NBH in Victoria? I don't know, someone can let me know, unless I find out for myself. Anyway, let's go auto ISO. Let's go. 23, I think.
No! I thought that was a puppy.
23. Huh?
I thought that was a puppy. 23.
23. Alright. We're at Barron Gorge station. Yeah, another stop here. More photo opportunities. And I guess I'll take a better look at the waterfall this time. Woohoo! Alright, back on the train we go. Bye bye Barron Falls. And back on board. Successful stop. Fantastic view of the locos. Let's go quick to the other side. And back to view the locos. Haha! You know, you're a real enthusiast when you do that.
I think most of the carriage is on the other side. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the locos. Railway station. I'm not sure if my last video is saved or not. Camera ran out of batteries just at the very end, and yeah, might have caused some issues. I don't know, probably. Oh well, wasn't anything too special.